Disclaimer: we are unqualified and unapologetic. We are not professionals. We are not doctors. We are not mental health specialists. So take what works, leave what doesn't. Now let's do this.
Yeah. Turn the mic up. Turn the doubts down. Growth talk with the bass loud. Sessions and lessons. Unscripted.
Sessions and lessons, unscripted vibes. Joel and Gloria, host not hard to find. Light in the dark, but the beat still bang. Heal your mind while the speakers shake. Sessions and lessons, talk that's real. Laugh, cry, grow, yeah, we feel what we feel. Joel and Gloria, truth, no script. Self-help, mosh pit, let it rip. Yeah. Woke up stressed, world heavy on my chest. Hit play, now I'm breathing a little less mess. They don't preach, they relate. Couple goals while they teach you how to elevate. Marriage strong, but the humor reckless. Trauma talk mixed with straight blessings. No fake smiles, no polished lies, just scars, bars.
Hey, everybody, it's Joel, host of Sessions and Lessons Unscripted. I hope you are all of the words.
Letters.
We stumbled out the gate, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Hope everybody's doing well. And my better half over there, oh, that's just Gloria.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm still cold.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody out there is going through that, but we're going through some cold spell. Although we're kind of out of it now.
Today's a heat wave. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're at a whole, like 17 degrees today.
Yeah, compared to the last few days where we were negative.
But, you know, it's funny. I know, every region, every state, city, whatever, has their own thing, right? Like they're known for. Or there's habits that locals are like, you know, kind of partake in or whatever. That's just a local thing. I don't know if it's like this anywhere else, but here in Chicago, Illinois, it could be 40, 50 degrees out, and there's people out there in shorts and T-shirts, and it's like a running joke, right? Like, it's going to be 50 degrees today as I'm going to break out the shorts.
The heat wave.
So, yeah, I don't know, but it was just horrible the past couple of days. So
We survived.
yeah, see, but you know what? Isn't that something? There's a lesson to be learned there, I think, because even though it sucked and our heat hasn't been working well at all, I mean, we made it through and we're dealing. So
We are so lucky to have a fireplace.
yes, we are. It
Very.
helped out.
A lot.
Yeah, there was a couple scares there,
Just a couple.
but here we are
Alive and well.
and kicking.
Uh.
It's funny, our cat just discovered that she can sit in front of the fireplace and stay warm.
We've been trying to get the animals to sit next to the fireplace, but they are so, like, dumb.
Dense.
Dense.
They're such good animals, though.
Eh.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yes.
So other than that, how are you, my love?
I'm kind of tired today, even though I slept in a little bit.
Yeah, that's what you do. You sleep in.
I do.
I'm up. Early bird gets the worm.
Yep. How's that worm tasting?
I was up working on podcast stuff and book stuff. And,
Not me. I was snoozing away with my cat.
you know, speaking of book stuff, I'm going to make a confession on here. And I kind of feel bad about it, and I kind of don't feel bad about it.
Do tell.
People been asking me how the writing's going and how, you know, what am I working on, stuff like that. Even like random strangers I've been kind of meeting on the internet. And it's like, I'm not currently really working on anything. It's more in my head than on paper, which I need to like
Start writing it
That's
down.
one bad habit I think I have. It's like I have awesome. I had, like I'm telling you, I had a bunch of stuff written down. I had every time an idea would pop in my head, I'd write it down, and then a lot of those notes are gone. I either threw them out or they got lost or whatever. and it's no different now. Like there's so many ideas I have. First of all, I want to continue the book that I just released, so I want to do like a follow up. Like I said, I'm already writing it in my head. I just need to sit at a computer and get it out.
Yeah.
And that not only that, I've always had like I always wanted to do fiction as well. So like stories and stuff like that. Probably leaning more towards like thriller, suspense, horror.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of I'm a fan of that stuff. Dark, dark stuff. But and I have like a bunch of ideas in my head for stories, and I have situations and people and all that stuff. It's just a matter of
Writing it.
releasing it. So in a way, I'm not trying to feel guilty or like whatever that I'm not, at the grinding or whatever, trying to like spit out a bunch of stuff.
You legit just released it not too long ago.
Yeah, and then I've been trying to promote it, and I've been trying to do other stuff, and then home stuff, which I won't even get into details. So I'm like like I've said a million times, I'm just a normal dude with a day job, and I have other responsibilities, and I know you got to kind of carve out time for stuff. You have to manage your time and prioritize, and if there's extracurricular stuff that you want to do, you got to make time for it. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's on me for sure. So
I don't think you should feel too guilty. Like I said, you just released it in November, and we're in the end of January.
Mm-hmm.
So chill.
Which is more than enough time to spit out about 2 more books. No, I'm just kidding. But it's kind of cool too, because I've been meeting kind of like amateur filmmakers and artists, and I don't know. I just think making those connections is pretty cool. So maybe I'll make a comic book or a graphic novel. I'd have to collaborate with people.
Collaborate and listen.
You okay over there?
No. Yes,
Obviously
I'm fine.
You're not.
I am A-okay.
So what about you?
I am unproductive.
At least she's honest, everybody. She's honest. She just shows up.
I just show up and
everyone else does all the work, and then she just shows up.
I do.
Fashionably late.
Blah.
Yeah, it's so the weather sucks. Nothing new there.
We're talking really sucks. Like, it's bad.
Well,
it's bad when me, who never wants to go out, wants to go out.
Well, yeah, it's funny because it's almost like people are on lockdown. It almost reminds me of COVID, which is like, ugh.
It feels like I said, yeah, basically like you're.
It was funny because when was it? The coldest day, Gloria and I were like trying our damnedest not to go anywhere. But
that failed.
That did fail. We ended up having to go to the store, which, I mean, that was the quickest trip to the store I think we've ever done. It was just ridiculous. It was like Bonnie and Clyde. I dropped off Bonnie. She went in the store, ran out back into the getaway vehicle.
It was quick. I literally walked in and walked out.
Yeah, it was fast. And then yesterday we did do something. It started to warm up at I think it was 10 degrees. But I decided to take Glo out for breakfast, and then we went thrifting afterward, and it was tolerable. It wasn't horrible, but I don't know. I mean, it was cold, but the way some of these reports where people were like freaking out and buying up all the toilet paper again, and then it was like ridiculous.
It's like we survived Snowmageddon 2026.
Yeah, but then it's like there's no snow. It's like barely anything. Like say today,
it just started snowing not too long ago. So.
Yeah, but it's dust. It's not a big deal. You know?
And as we wake up tomorrow, and 10 feet of snow.
Oh, I'm glad I have 4x4 because I'm plowing out of that stuff. All right, well, today, Gloria wanted to do another one of those chat thingies. We picked a subject. Guys usually say, people usually like when we do these, and usually like when it's like nostalgia type ones, like the years we were born or when we were kids.
Yeah.
So I was born in 75, 1975.
It sounds so weird when people say 19.
Were you born in the 1900s?
Yes,
I was.
I was born in the later years of the 1900s.
Yes, I was.
I was born in 1981.
I was born 3 years after my parents came to the United States. And then,
Well, technically, your parents were already in the United States.
What do you mean?
They're Puerto Rican.
Well, I'm saying the mainland.
Okay, that's different.
Potato, potato.
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato. Yeah, so we're going to do one of those chat thingies.
Chat Jipitus.
And the subject is reflective questions that are between 1975 and 1981. So,
Oh,
what?
is this the first set of questions or the second?
That's our questions, lady.
Okay. This is not what I saw on my screen originally, but that's okay. All right. Who goes first?
I mean, I could ask all the questions. We both got to answer them.
Yeah, you ask.
You know, being the host and all.
Yeah, so host.
I don't like your attitude.
Get in line.
All right, people. Number 1. What's a childhood rule or saying your parents lived by that would never fly today? No.
No.
Don't tell me no.
What's one word?
I mean, it's a rule or a saying.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I guess technically, yeah, right.
No, with her it would be espérate, which means wait.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that when she said wait until we get home, or just the word wait, we were in really, really big trouble.
That's I'm trying to think of mine. I don't know. Childhood rule or saying your parents live by that would never fly today. Only thing I could think of is like you have to take care of family no matter what, which I think is kind of false because how many people out there have trifling ass people in their family? And it's like, to me, it's like, I mean, that's part of the toxicity, right, of our culture or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, and I'm sure people out there listening, they have family members that just, yeah, no, I don't care if you're family or not. I'm not going to enable you or encourage you or family or not.
Right.
And I think a lot of people kind of fall into that and they're like, oh, well, I have to do it because it's my brother, or I have to do it because it's my sister, or, you know, whatever. But no, I mean, you have to have some sort of standard or value or whatever and then stick to it.
Yeah.
I mean, blood or not, you know, you're not going to have somebody make you compromise, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I could think of.
Okay. Good enough.
So I have no idea.
No.
I may or may have not answered that. I guess there's no right or wrong answer, right?
Oh, yes.
I don't know. That's like that's like the saying, there's no such thing as stupid questions.
But there are stupid.
And I beg to differ. And then it's funny because sometimes people will come up to me and they'll be like, stupid question. I say, there's no such thing. And then they ask it and I just kind of stare at them. I say, you know what? That was a stupid question. And then they're like, huh? I'm such a nice guy.
You are.
All right, number 2. What was your first real memory of technology changing your life? TVs, phones, video games, etc.
Oh, what was the name of that stupid game that we used to play in class? It was like you would go on a trail.
Oregon Trail?
Oregon Trail, yes.
Really?
That was super technology for
Where
me.
you caught dysentery and your game was over?
Yeah.
You died from diarrhea?
Well, you have to remember that we grew up with like pixelations and, little blobs as characters. Like Mario was just like a little red blob with like blue blobs for feet,
Blue blobs?
blue blobs. Well, they were little pixels. So,
Mm-hmm. Which is funny you mentioned because I think video games throughout my life or childhood was a thing. But when Nintendo first came out,
Yeah.
a regular Nintendo, man, was that a big deal. And like I wanted one so bad.
Right.
And like you said, Mario was just a blip blop on the screen.
Yeah.
And I remember it vividly, like it was yesterday. A bunch of us guys from school, it was like 6 or 7 of us. This one kid was the first one to get it. And then it was just picture these 6 guys huddled around a console TV. For you guys that are not from the 1900s, we used to have these TVs that were, I think, like if you were rocking a 25-inch TV, that was like, oh my God. Now you have like 80-inch TVs and people just like, meh. But back then it was like 25-inch TV and it was color. Oh my gosh, your parents must have money.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it looked like a piece of furniture. It was wood.
Yeah.
And it looked like a cabinet. It was like a tube TV in a cabinet. So anyways, so imagine these kids sitting around this wood box and then the Nintendo was on top and everyone's just googly eyed at the TV because, whoa, this is so awesome.
Right.
You look at it now, it's like, wow, like this is so
Lame.
like old and pixelated.
I remember we got the Nintendos like as soon as it came out.
Mm-hmm.
My mom kind of surprised us. It was kind of one of those things where we were off for school. She didn't want us to be outside all the time. So she's like, I'm going to buy you this. You guys have to share it. And, you guys could bring your friends over or whatever, but I'd rather have you guys home.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I remember we'd have like 6 or 7 different kids, and it was a lot. And I remember, as PlayStation came out, and the graphics on the PlayStation were like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Like PlayStation 1. I remember we were like, whoa. And then Xbox came out, and, that was the thing.
I'm telling you, when I was a huge gamer, right?
Yeah.
Even when, like, I was so huge of a gamer, I would buy, back in, that's another term, right? Back in the day.
Back in the day.
There was, you can modify your PlayStation or your Xbox or whatever and play imported games.
Yeah.
So I had this box that I would plug into my consoles, and then I would buy games from Japan, games from like the UK, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would play like other games too, which was pretty cool. Yeah, but speaking of Nintendo, this is kind of a lame story. So when it first came out, we didn't get it, right? However, we would go on vacations to Puerto Rico, and I had a couple cousins. And most of the time when you go to visit family or do whatever, they want you to bring something, right?
Right.
Because you're in the mainland and maybe there's stuff that it's hard for them to get or it's too expensive, whatever.
Right.
So my uncle was big time into radio and ham radio and stereos and stuff like that. So I remember my parents got him a CD player, which at the time was kind of a big deal because they were fairly new still.
Yeah.
So just looking at these shiny discs, like, whoa, this plays music? Like, we're used to vinyl records.
Or tapes.
So now you have this shiny disc. Like, there's music on this.
Did you, by any chance ever get to play with the 8 tracks?
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
My dad had a ton of them.
That's so weird to me. I didn't see one until I was a little bit older, and I was like, "What the heck is this?"
No, we had them. So, so then, they got my uncle the CD player, and then my cousins wanted a Nintendo, and I'm like, wait a minute, I want a Nintendo, but they ended up getting the Nintendo before we did,
Haha.
and that kind of sucked.
Poor you.
Yes. All right, we'll move on. What did going outside to play actually look like for you back then?
It looked like don't come home. Live in the wild, child.
That tells us a lot. So your mom wanted to get rid of you.
Yeah, well, as it is, we were really active kids. You know, we had a lot of energy, and we'd always be outside. It'd be like 500 degrees outside, we'd be outside. It'd be like 30 below, we'd be outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just always wanting to be out. As opposed to now where kids don't want to.
They just stay inside,
Right.
eat flaming hot Cheetos.
Don't talk crap. I love Cheetos.
For me, I mean, I had a typical childhood. A lot of bike riding, tons of bike
A
riding.
lot, yeah. We used to go like 2 or 3 suburbs over.
Yeah, your parents would give you like that imaginary border, and I would always pass it.
I'd be
Bike,
like, catch me if you can.
yeah, bike riding, marbles. Yeah, I used to play marbles. Playing outside, drinking out of garden hoses. What else? Yeah, I mean, bike riding was the main one.
Yeah.
But and then at one point I was a skater, so I would go skateboard everywhere. Yeah, I mean, typical stuff. Always getting into some kind of accident or
Some kind of trouble.
hurting myself.
Yeah.
Like one time, I think I told the story about when a buddy of mine and I collided in a parking lot. I mean, we must have been going, man, I couldn't even tell you, 30, 40 miles an hour in a parking lot. I mean, we were pedaling fast and we're zigzagging, and then bam, we met in the middle. And I cut my arm open really bad. There's blood everywhere. And then, yeah, there was one time, and one thing I used to like to do is take bikes apart and put them together.
Right.
So then I had some Frankenstein bikes that I put together from different parts I found.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then I remember one time I was riding my bike, and for some reason the pedals, the sprocket and all that,
Yeah.
got loose, and it like popped. And I remember the bike flipping over,
Yeah.
and I slammed back of my head really hard on the
Oh.
concrete, and I saw stars. I was dizzy. I mean, it was kind of serious.
Yeah.
When I think about it now. So I'm like hobbling my way home. I'm telling you, I was out of it.
I bet.
Probably should have went to the hospital, but I had this knot on the back of my head, and it took forever to go away. And then I remember there was like the knot was still there, but it was like a little maybe like bump that was maybe the size of your pinky. But it was the after effects of that fall. And finally, it went away 100%.
Did it? It's
Yeah.
Time then.
Yeah, it was a long time.
You know, funny story. Well, now that we're talking about bikes, my youngest brother was the same way with bikes. He Frankenstein them, buy different parts, you know, put them together, take them apart. And he was really little at the time. If I was still like in 7th, he must have been in like 3rd or 4th grade doing this stuff with bikes, you know? And I remember that GT was the biggest brand that you can get.
Well, yeah, you had GTs, Diamondbacks,
Yeah.
Mongoose.
Wasn't there like a dyno?
Yeah, those BMX bikes were awesome.
Yeah, well, my brothers were into those, and those were customizable. You could change the bars and
Pegs,
pegs and all that stuff.
mag wheels.
So he would get his little allowance together and buy parts for his bike. And he had a really nice bike. Like, he took really good care of it. And one day it went missing. And I remember I was so mad because I was like, dude, you put a lot of work into that. What happened? He's like, oh, I know the boy who took it. And I was like, okay, so let's go get it. And then I had heard from the other neighbors that one of the guys that was my age, in my grade, in my school, was driving at the time, and he took my brother's bike and put it in his trunk. And I knew who this guy was. And I remember I was so pissed, and being the violent person that I was back then, he was with his cousins, and there was like 4 or 5 of them, all together. Mm-hmm. And here comes Gloria, all huffy puffy, big sister coming on a rampage. And I was like, look, man, I'm going to make this real simple for you. I was like, one of the neighbors told me that they saw you put my brother's bike in the trunk. He's like, oh, no. I was like, don't make me go get the neighbor, bro. I was like, you want to take this to the next level? I was like, I'm not the one, And I was like, you better give my brother his bike back or you're going to have an issue with me. And he's like, no, I don't have it. I promise. He's like, I swear. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, man. I was like, if my brother doesn't get his bike back, I was like, you're going to have issues. And I was talking all sorts of crazy to these guys. Mind you, I was the only female in like the area, They could have easily just, slapped me around and whatever, Mm-hmm. But they, I don't know what it was, but eventually my brother got his bike back. But I found out that what my brother did was that he went to the guy's house and he went into the shed and he stole the bike back. First it was him and my other brother, and they went to go knock on the guy's door. And the kid was telling his parents, like, no, that bike, blah, blah, blah. So my brothers, I guess, waited until they were paying attention, and they broke into the shed and they stole the bike back. I always thought that the guy had just given it back, but no, my brother actually stole it back. But we still laugh about that. My brother's like, you're an idiot. He's like, you weren't scared? I was like, no, somebody stole something from my little brother, dude. I was the big sister.
All right, let's see. What music, TV show, or movie instantly takes you back to your childhood?
What music?
What music, TV show, or movie instantly takes you back to your childhood?
Music, freestyle, movie, I would say The Goonies.
They're remaking that, Well, not remaking it, but they're making a sequel, which...
I don't think they need a sequel.
No, and it's been, 40, 50 years since the last one?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I might watch it, but...
They're probably going to be a train wreck.
I know.
Okay, so that was music. I was huge into music. I mean, I couldn't name one thing or style because I was into a bunch of stuff.
Well, for us, like I said, it was mostly like freestyle and house music, and that's like a Chicago thing.
Well, yeah, we're from Chicago, yeah. So that's a thing. Like I said, music, I'm all over the place. There was a period of time when I was younger that I became a DJ, so I did a lot of like house music, hip hop. I dabbled a little bit in freestyle, mainly house and hip hop. But I became a huge metalhead at one point. But I still, there's like so much stuff. If you would see my playlist on my music playlist, yeah. It's all over the place.
Is it?
TV show, I was a TV junkie. That's probably why my eyeballs are no good. I watched everything, like most of the popular stuff. There's just so many. And then movies is the same thing. I mean, movies, when I was younger, I leaned more towards comedies and, skate vids and stuff like that, music videos, concert videos, stuff like that. And then when I got older, I got more into like horror movies. I remember when I was younger, horror movies freaked me out. And then when I got older, they didn't freak me out at all. And I'm so desensitized now, it's not even fun.
What was the first scary movie you saw?
The first one that comes to mind that like legit scared me was it was Salem's Lot. The original Salem's Lot.
okay,
I think that was from what, 1973 or
I think it was,
76.
I would think it was the 76.
I was young. I remember too when that came out. My dad and I went to New York to visit some relatives. I forgot where he was. It was me. I think they were babysitting me, and then I was in the living room watching TV. And I remember all the lights were out, and I forgot how old I was. I'm maybe 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I ended up watching this on TV. No adults around. I think they were sleeping. I don't know where the heck they were. And there was a couple scenes that really scared me. Was the scene where the kid floats in the window.
Oh, and he knocks on
And he
the
like
kid's
scratches
window?
on the window. That freaked me out. And then where what's his name? The Count, or is it Orlok? I don't know why I'm having a brain fart, but whatever. When he like pops up and goes, ah, and oh my gosh! At one point, I remember running. I ran from the living room into one of the bedrooms or something, and I don't even think I finished the movie because I was so freaked out.
Well, I remember there was two that really freaked me the hell out. Excuse me. One of them was, I don't remember which Freddy movie it was, but it was the one where the girl is being like slowly dragged from one.
That's the first one.
That's the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's being dragged from like one scene or one end of the hall to the other, and it's like really slow and just really creepy.
She's in a body bag or what?
Yeah, and she's being dragged and stuff.
You know, and I was being serious about being desensitized. Now it's like whatever, but I know in adulthood one scene that really, I mean, not much startles me or whatever, or grosses me out or whatever. But there was one scene, and it's in The Exorcist 3, which was actually a pretty good movie. The second one, not so much. The third one was good. There's a scene, and it was so perfectly done. And it's like, I mean, I don't know if I should even say it, because if anybody wants to check it out, but there's a scene where there's a hospital. They're in a hospital, and it's just a long shot of a hallway. And it is just like, I don't even know how long, maybe 3 minutes of just looking down a hallway. And then there's like this, I'm just going to say something happens, and it legit, like, I like shrieked when I saw it. And it was like, it's really good. If you guys are into, anybody out there that's into like horror movies or scary movies or something like that, check it out. Yeah, there's one scene in that movie that's like,
well, I think I know the scene that you're talking about, and it is kind of, if you're not expecting it catches you off guard.
Catches you off guard.
But there was another movie that really freaked me out too. You're gonna think it's so lame because now as an adult, it's one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Silver Bullet.
Oh, that was a good one. That's
was
a Stephen King movie.
Yeah, and I remember I used to be so scared.
Isn't Corey Haim's in that one?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's in like a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair.
He's wheelchair bound, and it's funny because I used to be so scared because there's a scene where he comes in through the window, and it's crazy because I used to live on the second or third story at this time. I think it was a third story apartment, and I remember that. For some reason, in my little brain, I got it that there was a wolf climbing up to the third story to get me, like up the wall. And I told my mom, close the blinds. And she's like, why? What's wrong with you? I was like, the wolf is going to come out the window. Don't you know? And she's like, Gloria, didn't I tell you not to watch that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I watched it.
And doing what you're not supposed to.
As always.
Speaking of wolves, that's out of the classic monster movie or monsters or creatures or whatever, I would say, because what you have Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, the creature from the Black Lagoon. What
Right.
else? The classic monsters.
The Mummy.
I was always into. Mine was the Wolfman.
Yeah.
I really like the Wolfman, and most Wolfman movies now, the werewolf looks like
A dog.
a super overgrown dog that
Yeah.
walks on his hind legs. And don't get me wrong, I think some of those costumes and makeup and all that look really cool. They look awesome, right? Mean, menacing, scary. But I always lean the, like, if you guys watch Benicio del Toro and the Wolfman, I like that look.
Yeah.
It's like he's still dressed, he's not naked, and he's just, I don't know, it's just like he looks like a man, but like a wolf man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know, whatever.
Like even the wolf from American I can't.
Yeah, that's
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, that's classic.
Yeah,
So,
that's classic right there.
and most, if not none of that is special effects.
No.
It's practical.
Yeah.
It's like guys and
I find those a lot more creepy than the whole, CGI type of scary.
yes.
Yes. We're showing our nerd. Excuse us.
I don't know how the hell we got on that
Yeah.
at all.
When you can't get us talking about movies because that's
Movies and any kind of media, yeah.
yeah, because that's our biggest thing. We love to watch movies.
Because we waste a lot of time.
Yes, we're procrastinators.
All right. How did discipline look in your house compared to how kids are disciplined today? As we just laugh.
Oh,
If it wasn't bolted down, you got hit with it.
yeah.
If they didn't care in
We got
in
hit with the
public,
chancla, which is like the
Yeah.
shoe slippers,
chancla is that's a slipper,
flip flop or
flip
slipper,
flop or a slipper.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do that much bad stuff where I warranted a beating, but it was there.
Yeah. Latinos are brutal when it comes to that, and yeah, some people might view it as like,
Oh, now you can't do that.
no, it would be viewed as
Yeah, abuse.
abuse. But, I will tell you that it made me scared of my mom.
See, but is that what is that what they want? Is that they're disciplining you to make you disciplined, I guess. It's not supposed to be.
No, but in a way,
It's supposed to teach you something, but not make you fearful. If that makes any sense.
No, I was very fearful until a certain age, and then I lost all fear for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when my mom disciplined us, it was because we did something bad. Like my mom was, she was very lax in certain things. She let us do a lot of things that other parents wouldn't let their kids do, right? But if we messed up, I was always the one to tell my mom when I messed up. Because I knew that if she heard it from somebody else, it would be worse. So if I did something or broke something or somebody caught me doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, I would be the first one to tell my mom, But it's kind of weird because as kids, we don't realize, what we're doing a lot of the times.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's right. You should never put your hands on someone. It's a grown adult disciplining a child, But I swear, nowadays, some kids need it. No,
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm telling you,
No,
some
I don't.
kids.
I don't condone physical abuse or anything, but parents should be disciplining their kids a lot more, or at least controlling their behavior, or taking responsibility for it. I
Yeah,
can't
it seems
speak
like
on-
there's too many loose cannons out there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak on it. Obviously, I don't have kids, and there's a reason why I don't have kids. But I don't know. I just. If you didn't grow up in a Latin household, you wouldn't understand.
Mm-hmm. Funny story. It's funny now. I don't. At the time, I don't think. Well, at the time, it was funny too. So I was not to throw my sibling under the bus, but he'd get in trouble more than I would. All right. So there were times where my mom would get angry at him and then go get, we'll go to discipline him. And for some reason, they ended up running around the table, the dining room table. So I thought it was so funny
That is a big mistake as a child.
running away from your parent. Yeah.
They will flat out tell you if you run, it's gonna be worse.
So how they ended up doing laps around the dining room table, I have no idea. But of course, my brother's screaming, my mom's screaming, and I'm in the corner just watching this. And then it just clicks, right? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you both of you are like doing laps around the table. And then I just start losing it. I'm just laughing. And then it's making my mom angrier. So she's telling me to shut up. And then my brother sees that I'm laughing and I think it's hilarious. So he starts laughing,
Oh,
which makes her
no.
even more mad. And oh my gosh. And then just watching them try to fake each other out.
Wow.
Get back here. Wait till your father comes home. Blah, 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 blah. Here I am in the corner like a dumbass, laughing my ass off. And just, oh my gosh. Just thinking about it is so funny.
Good old time.
Oh, it was so funny. And then, of course, he runs, he gets the outlet, runs into the room. Wait till your father comes home. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I bet you he got in trouble.
And then, of course, she whips around and looks at me in the corner. I got tears in my eyes because I'm laughing so hard. And it's like, and I'm slipping away before. You're next, buddy. Come back here.
Come back here.
All right. What's something you learned growing up that you later realized wasn't actually true?
What?
What is something you learned growing up that you later realized wasn't actually true? So when you became older, you're like, oh, this is not true.
And you're gonna think it's so lame. Well, I don't think it's lame.
No, try me.
I used to. Oh, I think I've told this story before. How we used to go to like Romeoville every summer for my mom's like convention for her religion, and every year we used to pass by a carnival, and they would tell us to duck because the police was searching for or looking for kids, and not to look up. So what they would do is they would do this like a mile before we hit the carnival area. And then once we passed it and it was behind us and we couldn't see, they'd be like, okay, coast is clear. But they would do that so we wouldn't see the carnival because we'd want to go to the carnival, obviously. And one time when I was older, I asked my mom, what was the deal with that? Like, why did you guys always do that to us? Like, you know how traumatizing that was? And she laughed. She's like, yeah, there was just a carnival there and we didn't want to take you guys. So we would tell you guys that the police was looking for children.
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of harsh. I was so like disappointed in my mother.
Well, I got one story to beat that one. And I might have even said this one before. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think I've told this one before too.
Yeah. So one day, here we're from Chicago, and there was a show that was produced at WGN Studios here in Chicago
In the 1900s.
in the 1900s called The Bozo Show.
Yes.
And watched that religiously. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know who this is or seen it or heard of it or whatever. Bozo. So I'm a kid. I want to, I've always wanted to go to the Bozo Show, whatever. And it's local, right? So we can go. So one time, my mom and her friend, us kids are just being rowdy and all of this stuff. Obnoxious. So they round up all the kids and tell us all, hey, you guys stop it, settle down. We're going to take you guys to the Bozo Show. And oh my gosh, did I get excited. So I'm like, man, this is awesome. I'm going to go. I'm going to get picked for the grand prize game. I'm going to win the Schwinn bike and the $50 bill. I'm going to get to go see Cookie and Wizard and all of them, right? So we hop in the car. We start driving, whatever. And we're excited, right? All of us are like, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to meet Bozo and take pictures and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to win the bike. I'm getting the $50. And back then, $50 was like $5,000.
Baby, but you gotta say it right. A brand.
Brand new, fit, crispy.
Yeah.
$50 bill.
Wasn't there a $100 bill too?
I don't remember. I remember a 50 and a brand new Schwinn bike.
Yeah.
Which I think were manufactured here too at one point.
Yes.
So it was all local stuff, right? The
Right.
show was local. The prizes were local. I mean, they even gave you like cakes from local bakeries and pizza and
Yeah.
anyways, whatever. So anyways, we're on the way to the Bozo show. We're pumped. We're all, and now, I mean, shut up kids. We're almost there, right? So we pull up to this neighborhood. They stop at next to a building. The building has this line around, right? The corner. So my mom and her friend are like, wait here. We'll be right back. So we're like, okay. So we're thinking, man, look all the people trying to go inside, the Bozo show. It's kind of weird that it's in this place. Like we're thinking it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Even, like we're in the middle of a neighborhood and they're going in this building. So we're waiting there. We're like, they're going to come get us. Maybe they're getting the tickets. So then my mom and her friend come back with like, I think it was a box and a couple bags with like groceries in them. And we're kind of looking at them and whatever. And then they hop in the car and we just go home. So we're like, well, what happened? Where's the Bozo show? They're telling us to be quiet or whatever. Later, I find out that they only told us that to shut us up, and they went to go to the food pantry or the welfare food pantry to go pick up groceries. So I never got to see Bozo.
Aw.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to the Bozo show, but we never did.
Another show that was local that I always wanted to go to and never did was the Jerry Springer show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that show was just.
I have friends that went.
Yeah, I know people have gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was interesting. All right, let's see, where are we at? How did your parents talk or not talk about money, emotions, or relationships?
We didn't.
That's right. I was gonna say the same thing.
Well, my Mexicans in general are very family oriented. So the females are really groomed as, little girls.
Well, you're talking about they're shown to be like take care of their family and their men and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
take care of your brothers, take
Right.
care of the men.
That's what you mean.
Right. You have to learn how to cook because you're going to cook for your husband and your family. You have to learn how to sew because you're going to have to sew his buttons and you're going to have to, fix his clothes. You have to learn how to iron because you're going to have to clean his work uniform. We're trained from a really young age to be housewives. If you have a traditional mom, not all Mexicans are like this, but I come from a somewhat of a traditional, raised mom in Mexico, so from a very young age it was always about that. You have to learn how to cook. You have to do this because it's your job. It's your responsibility. Don't worry about college. Just worry about, learning how to cook and learning how to, make your man happy and keep him happy. Oh, you shouldn't look like that because, men don't like it when you look like that, or you should dress a certain way because, you look presentable. It was always instilled in us to kind of be prepared to be housewives.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, they didn't talk about money
No.
or emotions or relationships. It is funny too, like even like I don't like talking about this stuff, but like voting and politics and stuff.
Yeah.
That was a big no. You didn't talk about that.
No.
Like they would go vote, and it's like, who'd you vote for? And they acted like you asked for their social security number.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, yeah, you didn't talk about that stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, absolutely not really
No.
at all any of that stuff.
And, boys are taught just the same. You're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to be a man. You're supposed to bring the money to the house. You're supposed to support your wife. You're supposed to produce children. You're supposed to do all of these things. They focus more on that than anything else. Traditionally anyways.
What was your first job, and what did it teach you about responsibility?
Oh, man. I started working at a young age. Like, I was really young when I started working.
But what was your first real job, though?
Like, my first real job was
Or you got a paycheck?
Kmart.
Blast from the past. Actually, I used to work for Kmart also.
Did you really?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I
worked overnights.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I worked the daytime shift. I was the Kmart in Des Plaines. Actually, it was the last Kmart to close.
Really?
Yes.
I thought that was the one in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
No, I think it was the last one to actually officially close was the one in Des Plaines.
Speaking of Kmart, if you guys want a laugh, go on YouTube and look up the Ship Your Pants commercials.
Oh.
Those are so hilarious. Those are like...
I'm gonna ship your pants.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, I'm going to ship my pants.
What?
It's Ship, S-H-I-P.
Yeah, that was a good commercial.
Go on YouTube and look up Ship My Pants, and then the Kmart commercials will come up.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I got my first check, like my very first check was only $100 because I only had work like a half a week during the beginning of the pay period, so but the next time I got paid, I got $350.
Wow.
That was a lot of money back then, though.
High roller.
I know, that was a lot of money back then.
My first job, if we're saying very first job, paycheck, I worked for McDonald's, and I would think I worked there for a whole maybe week or two. I remember, too, the boss that I had was kind of mean. I remember when I was the fry guy, right? I was the guy running the fry machine. And they were teaching me how to make the fries, and it's on a timer, right? So you really can't screw it up. I think I was 14, going on 15 at the time. Don't remember. Excuse me. But I remember I think I overcooked the fries by like 3 seconds or something like that, and they didn't come out. You know how McDonald's fries are so golden brown and crispy and all that? They were like a tad, like I'm talking about a tad too golden brown, and they made me dump the whole baskets that I made. And then I remember he said something that was kind of well, like I said, he wasn't a nice person. So I ended up quitting because I'm like I don't need this. So I guess that didn't work for responsibility. I'm like, just F this job. But I remember they even tried to mess up my pay because when I got my check, it was supposed to be for like a full week or 2 weeks or something, however long I was there. And I think it was like $50 or $35. I don't remember. It was ridiculously low. And even my dad, like, because I'm like, oh, your first paycheck, let me check it out. And he saw it and he's like, what is this? And then, I ended up, I don't remember, for some reason, I remember him, it was a McDonald's we would used to go to, or it was not far from where we lived. So I remember my dad and I went in there and he confronted the manager at some point. It was, I don't remember the exact details. But, yeah, I didn't last very long at that job because it was like, whatever.
No, I think from the Kmart job, I just learned that the more you work, the more you make. But now that I'm an adult and I actually have bills, it's like, no matter how much you make.
That's funny you mentioned that because when I moved to Puerto Rico after my marriage was falling apart and stuff, I you don't realize when you're a kid, like we got told no all the time, right? Can we get the cereal? No.
No.
Can we get this toy? No.
No.
Can we get this? No. And then you don't realize, you just think, oh, they're being mean or they're being stingy or they're like, they don't want to buy me anything. No, they wanted to pay for your food and your housing and your bills and your lights to stay on, and you realize it, right? So like when I lived with them, it was like you kind of realize, oh, that's why they did this, or that's why they said no to this, or
Right. You don't realize that stuff until you become
when you're
older.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you don't care.
Right.
You just want the Megatron that mom would never let you get. So it's like, no, they've said no because they're trying to keep your,
Lights on.
your lights on and the gas going.
Yeah.
But when you become adult, yeah, you realize all
No,
that
and
stuff.
the thing was is that when we did get that box of cereal that we asked for,
Mm-hmm.
it was such a treat. It was like
Oh yeah, back then,
a
like
special occasion. You did
Yep.
something great. You brought grades home, or
that's like McDonald's and Burger King and
that
fast
wasn't
food.
an everyday occurrence.
Fast food was not an all everyday thing. It was like when I was a kid, if you got all A's, let's go to McDonald's. If it's your birthday, hey, let's go to this restaurant. Now it's like every day, 4 times a day, 5 to. No, it wasn't like that back
No.
then. But yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days.
All right, 2 more questions. How did friendships work without social media? Now, did you meet up, fall out, or make up?
We always had a secret meeting spot,
I never had anything like that. You just
or we would just walk around the neighborhood until we found each other.
that, or you would call them. You would actually on your landline phone. Hey, where are you? Where I'm coming over. Or, hey, where are you gonna be? Where are you
Or
gonna
the
be?
parents would be like, "Oh, he went to the park with Timmy," and then you would know
Yeah,
go to
just
the
go
park that
ride your- yeah.
Timmy's house. Yeah,
Yeah, go hop on the bike and go over to the park.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Like thinking about, we were in a time where if someone called you, you waited till you got home to talk to them,
Right.
or I'll talk to you when I see you.
Yeah. Or sometimes we would make plans during school, like, "Hey, after school, let's meet over at this place."
Yeah, let's meet at the restaurant on the corner,
Yeah.
and whatever, have a soda or something. Yeah, I mean, that's how we did it. We called, we
Just showed up.
word of mouth. We just kind of knew where we hang out and go there. And
Yeah. It wasn't that big of a deal.
stay out until the street lights came on and our moms were screaming. Like all you hear is just mom screaming at around 5,
Random kids, Alfonso!
5 p.m. Nelson, get yourself over here.
Get your ass inside before I go get you.
All right. Last but not least, what part of growing up in that area do you miss the most?
Era, baby.
Era. Oh, I need glasses.
Yes, you do.
What part of growing up in that era do you miss the most, and what are you glad is gone?
I miss the not having phones and not always being on our phones. As people listen to our podcast on their phones.
So, but the question is, what part of growing up in the era you miss most?
Uh-huh.
So you miss,
Not having cell phones. How does that not make sense?
it would have to be something that you did in that era.
Communicating more is basically what I'm saying. Communicate more face to face.
Don't yell at me because you didn't understand the question. No, that's valid. I guess friendships, but just being a kid. But that for me, I mean, everyone, but a lot of people know the story. That for me was cut short. If I can go back and maybe be a kid, right? I would
Right.
maybe. It's a hard thing because if everything that's happened to me to this point is why I'm sitting here.
Right.
And if I go back and change it, you know what I mean? So that's a tricky one. What you're glad is gone. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, I'm glad that I have more control over myself than I did growing up.
Butt whoopings. I'm glad those are gone.
Yeah, temper tantrums.
You know what? I think
That's it. That was the final question. This is a set of questions that I thought you were going to ask. What?
hi. No, that I was looking over that and I was seeing that there was a couple good ones there.
There was. That's why I wanted to do this set, but that's okay. We'll do it on another time.
No, that's it. We're done.
You messed up. Admit it.
No, I didn't mess up. We did the questions that I picked, not the ones you picked.
I know because
I told you to pick them and you wouldn't pick them, so I picked them. Now you.
no, I point. Never
Peter
mind.
Piper
Okay,
picked the
we're
pack
good.
of pickle peppers.
Whatever. Whatever.
Whatever. All right, guys.
Go back up.
What are you talking about? What's wrong?
There. Okay. So back to being on track. What was your takeaway from everything?
That all that stuff doesn't matter. We're here now,
As adults, grumpy, angry, bitter.
paying bills and trying to get our furnaces fixed.
I want to go back to childhood.
No, it's I kind of want to touch on what I was just saying. No matter what you did in the past or how things were,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's gone.
yeah, I mean, it's cool to look back on stuff, but then it's like, you can't look back and like me, like I can't be like, I wish this coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, and if I could jump in a time machine, hey, if you could change it, would you? But you wouldn't be where you're at right now. I wouldn't be doing a podcast with Gloria Rosario.
And I wouldn't be sitting here giving him a dirty look.
That's not true. All right, guys. Hopefully you like that one. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing where we turned on I was going to say cameras, microphones. All right, guys. We'll leave it there. So thanks for listening. And don't forget to go to the website, sessionsandlessonsunscripted.com. And don't forget to shoot us an email if you got any suggestions for stuff we want us to talk about or do, complaints, suggestions, whatever. sessionsandlessonsmail@gmail.com. The socials, don't forget those, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And on TikTok, we have a board called Sessions and Lessons TikTok. Feel free to join there. And it's just a board for us to kind of like post whatever, promote people's stuff and announcements, support. If you want to drop in a funny video in there, it's fine. Anything goes. And don't forget the book, May, December, and The Ballad of Joey Flowers. Available now on Amazon, Amazon Kindle, Nook, and paperback at Barnes & Noble, coming soon. I think that's all I got. Do you have anything, Gloria Rosario?
No, not today. It's a quiet day today.
Very quiet.
Yes. Sip your tea and drink your coffee. Be nice to each other, and we'll see you guys later.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Sessions and lessons unscripted.